Welcome to our deep dive into one of the most legendary muscle cars to ever hit the streets, the Pontiac GTO the Judge. In this video, we're going to take you through everything you need to know about this high-performance beast, from its striking exterior and detailed interior to its impressive drivetrain and raw power. We'll also touch on its towing capabilities, pricing, and finally, wrap up with our overall thoughts on what makes the Judge a true icon in the world of classic American muscle. If you're a fan of vintage performance cars, make sure to stick around until the end, because this one is a real treat. First things first, let's talk about the unmistakable presence of the Judge. Introduced in 1969 as a special edition of the already famous GTO, the Judge was Pontiac's answer to the rising demand for affordable yet high-performance muscle cars. With its bold graphics, aggressive stance, and powerful V8 under the hood, this car was designed to make a statement both on the street and at the drag strip. The Judge package came with several unique visual cues, most notably the bright carousel red paint option, though other colors were available. A bold "The Judge" decal on the front fenders and rear quarter panels ensured that no one would mistake this GTO for anything else. Moving along the body, you'll notice the functional ram air hood scoops that allow cool air to flow directly into the engine bay, enhancing performance. The front end features a split grille design that was characteristic of Pontiac's styling in the late 60s, and the Endura bumper seamlessly integrates into the car's overall design, giving it a clean yet aggressive look. Out back, the wide rear haunches emphasize the muscle car DNA, while the decklet-mounted rear wing not only adds to the visual drama but also provides some level of aerodynamic benefit at high speeds. Whether sitting still or roaring down the highway, the Judge commands attention. Now, stepping inside, the interior of the GTO the Judge is a perfect blend of classic American muscle and subtle luxury. The driver-focused cockpit is simple yet functional, with a sporty 3-spoke steering wheel and a dashboard filled with large, easy-to-read gauges. The tachometer and speedometer take center stage, ensuring that drivers can keep an eye on the revs and speed at all times. High-back bucket seats provide a comfortable yet supportive seating position, ideal for both spirited driving and long road trips. The center console houses a Hurst T-handle shifter, a signature element of the Judge that adds to the performance-oriented feel of the car. The materials used throughout the cabin are typical of late 60s American cars, plenty of vinyl, wood grain accents, and chrome trim. While it's not as luxurious as some of the full-size Pontiacs of the era, the GTO's interior is well appointed for a muscle car, offering a blend of style and function. Rear seat space is adequate for a coupe, making this a usable four-seater, though it's clear that the focus is on the driver and front passenger. Optional extras included a push-button AM/FM radio, air conditioning, and even an 8-track tape player for those who wanted some entertainment while cruising down the boulevard. Now, let's get to the heart of the beast, performance. At the core of the Judge is the legendary 400 cubic inch, 6.6-liter, Ram Air 3 V8 engine, producing an underrated 366 horsepower and 445 lb-ft of torque. For those seeking even more power, Pontiac offered the optional Ram Air 4 version, which bumped output to 370 horsepower and a thunderous 445 lb-ft of torque. These numbers were conservative estimates, as real-world testing often revealed that these engines were making significantly more power than Pontiac officially claimed. The powertrain was mated to either a close-ratio 4-speed manual transmission or a turbo-hydromatic 400 3-speed automatic. True enthusiasts often opted for the manual transmission, which provided a more engaging driving experience, allowing the driver to row through the gears and fully exploit the V8's power band. The Judge also came equipped with a performance-tuned suspension, featuring heavy-duty springs, upgraded shocks, and a rear stabilizer bar to keep the car planted during hard acceleration and cornering. When it came to straight-line performance, the Judge was a serious contender. In period tests, the Ram Air 3 equipped version could sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just under 6 seconds, while the quarter mile was completed in the mid-13-second range at around 103 miles per hour. Opting for the Ram Air 4 package shaved off a few tenths, making it one of the quickest muscle cars of its time. The aggressive gearing and lightweight construction ensured that the Judge could hold its own against its rivals from Dodge, Ford, and Chevrolet. But muscle cars aren't just about speed, they also need to handle well enough to inspire confidence. While the Judge wasn't designed to be a canyon carver, it did offer decent handling for a car of its era. The wider track and performance suspension improvements helped it stay composed through corners, though it still exhibited some body roll typical of late 60s muscle cars. power-assisted steering made maneuvering easier, though it wasn't the most precise system by modern standards. When it comes to braking, the Judge was equipped with front disc brakes and rear drums as standard. This setup provided adequate stopping power for the time, but modern enthusiasts often upgrade to four-wheel disc brakes for improved performance. The stock braking system was sufficient for street driving and the occasional drag race, but repeated hard stops could lead to some fade. Now, let's touch on something that isn't usually associated with muscle cars: towing capacity. While the GTO the Judge wasn't designed for towing heavy loads, its torquey V8 and robust frame meant that it could handle light-duty towing if necessary. Some owners have used their GTOs to pull small trailers or classic motorcycles, but this was far from its intended purpose. If you needed a true tow vehicle, you were better off looking at something like a Pontiac Bonneville or a GMC pickup from the era. When it comes to pricing, the Judge was positioned as a high-performance yet relatively affordable muscle car. In 1969, the base price of a GTO was around $3,200, while the Judge package added roughly $332 to the price tag. Adjusted for inflation, that would be equivalent to about $25,000 in today's money, making it an absolute bargain for the performance it offered. Today, the Judge is a sought-after collector's car, with well-preserved examples commanding anywhere from $75,000 to well over $150,000, depending on originality, condition, and rarity. So, what's the final verdict on the Pontiac GTO the Judge? Simply put, it's one of the most iconic muscle cars of all time. From its aggressive styling and unmistakable badging to its fire-breathing V8 and legendary street performance, the Judge represents everything that made the muscle car era so special. It was loud, bold, and unapologetic, a car designed to dominate the streets and the drag strip. Even today, over 50 years later, it continues to be a favorite among collectors and enthusiasts who appreciate raw, unfiltered American muscle. If you ever have the chance to see one in person, hear the roar of its engine, or better yet, get behind the wheel, you'll quickly understand why the Judge remains such a revered name in the world of classic cars. Whether you're a longtime fan of Pontiac or just starting to learn about the golden age of muscle cars, the Judge is a name that deserves respect. And with that, we wrap up our in-depth look at this legendary machine. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on classic cars, performance legends, and automotive history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.